What is up, my friends? Happy Monday. I'm going live. I hit the live thing before I even put my microphone on. I was just going. Welcome to my life. I'm Alexandra. I'm founder of Life with Herpes. I am excited to be here with you today. It is the first Monday in October, and I am just making stuff up while I am putting on my mic. So bear with me. I should have been more prepared, guys. All right. So welcome. My name is Alexandra. I'm founder of Life with Herpes. I am excited to be here with you. Let me do that. And talk about what it is like to live with herpes. So if you are new to my channel or to my platform, I was diagnosed with herpes HSV1 in 2003 and HSV2 in 2011. So I've been living with herpes for decades. Don't like saying that, but for decades. And I decided to go live and talk about what it's like to live with herpes since 2017. The reason why I wanted to talk about my life with herpes is because when I was first diagnosed, I was in, I just didn't exist. I was dying on the vine. I didn't have any confidence. I didn't believe that I was worth anything. I didn't believe that I could move on. I didn't believe that I could love myself. I didn't believe that I could date whoever I want. I didn't believe any of these things. And so therefore, this is why I talk about this. So before I do that, I want to welcome you all. I'm going to smash the screen. I'm going to give you guys hearts. I appreciate you guys joining me. Please feel free to give hearts as well. They are so awesome, so fun to see. Who doesn't love seeing hearts? Yay, smashing the screen, guys. Okay, so as you know, for those of you that have been on my live before, I go through a series of questions and I go through them in the order in which they arrive. So if you have a question about living with herpes, please feel free to ask them and I will answer them in the order in which they are received. Also, if you know somebody that has herpes or know somebody that needs to hear this information about what it's like to live with herpes, maybe you have a friend who's dating someone with herpes, maybe you have herpes and you're in denial, or maybe you know someone that has herpes, please feel free to forward this information to them. It's Life with Herpes. Please feel free to forward it with them so that they can get the solutions, get the support, and find the community that they desperately need in order to get through there. Hi there. Hi, Cheyenne. So today in our support group, so we have a live support group that is twice a week. It's Monday morning and Monday evening for our secret society, our support group. We talked a lot about our beliefs. We talked a lot about our thought process. We talked a lot about dating. We talked a lot about disclosure. So one of the things that we discussed when it comes to disclosure, someone in our community, he recently went on a date, recently ended up spending the night with her. He missed his train home, so he had to spend the night. And he was talking about how he was excited that he did something different when normally he would have just, jumped into it. He decided, just enjoy the time and spend the night and go from there. And it wasn't until later, until like the next day or whatever, that he had his disclosure. And it was a successful disclosure. So a lot of times we feel that like we have to jump in right in bed, or we feel that we have to, or we can't do anything because we have herpes. And kind of the moral of the story, or what he learned was, hey, he just went about it different. It was fun. He had a good time. And then he was able to have a competent conversation, an educated conversation with his new partner the next day. And it went something like they shared their test results. They went definitely deeper in a different way than he would have normally done. So a lot of times people will think like, how do I proceed? And it just is a matter of having a conversation about your sexual status. Hey, I get tested every time I have a new partner. I get tested every 6 weeks. I get tested every 3 months. I get tested tested every 6 months, whatever it may be. Here's my most recent results. This is what I'm negative for. This is what I'm positive for. How do you want to proceed? So someone was saying, this is something friends and I were discussing, so I wanted to get a different point of view. A different point of view of what? And John said, haven't seen you in a while. Great to see you. Thanks, John. I know I was preparing for our in-person retreat that we had last weekend. We had it last weekend. It was awesome. We had 8 people out. I think I will cap it at 10 people next year. And it was here at my house. It was just super awesome to go deep and deal with the herpes stigma, the herpes trauma, the herpes beliefs, and how do we dig through all those beliefs in order to get to break free from the stigma? How do we break free from being fearful of dating, all of that? You're so scared existing in the same house with your children. So I can understand that. I'm a mommy as well. Again, we have this huge belief that we are like this amoeba, or we're all poisonous or whatever. We are going to infect some innocent person. And it's this whole thought of like, I am a bad person and I'm going to sin and I'm going to hurt somebody, right? And then I'm going to feel awful and it's going to be resentment and it's going to be guilt and it's going to be all sorts of things like that. So what I want you to realize, and this is how I deal with it with my child. I am a mom. I have HSV1 oral. I have HSV2 genital. My son is going to be exposed to the HSV virus, period, the end. If I did not exist, which would be awful for my son and for my husband, but if I did not exist, my son would still be exposed to HSV. It's impossible for him not to. So he's going to go out in the big wide world and he's going to have a teacher. He's going to have a friend. He's going to have a parent of a friend. He's going to go over to a friend's house and a parent's going to have herpes. He's going to go over to relatives' homes. They're going to have herpes. He's going to go over to places. He's going to be exposed. He is going to have lovers in the future. I don't want to think about that, but he's going to, right? And statistically, they are going to have herpes. So I cannot prevent my son from being exposed to this. And so why should I place that burden on myself to feel guilty or to feel like I don't deserve to be around my son? So that's something to think about. How did I get herpes? HSV1, I went on a date. My date had an active cold sore. He kissed me goodnight, even though I was like, oh, kissed me goodnight. And I ended up getting herpes on my mouth at 20. It wasn't fun. Sorry, I have to blow my nose. HSV2. The guy I was dating, my boyfriend at the time, did not know that he had herpes. And so he transmitted it to me. So that's how we got it. Guys, I'm going to go on ahead and smash the screen. Oops, I'm going to smash the screen just to say thank you for joining me on this Monday afternoon. You guys are awesome, blossom. I appreciate you joining me. If you are enjoying being on this live with me too, go on ahead and smash the screen as well. Also, don't mind my little cold. My husband, I was out of town, and of course, I'm fine out of town, and I come home and my husband is sick. And of course, who picks it up? Me. Okay. So thank you for the hearts for those of you that smashed with me. How did you get it? Did the person who gave it to you feel bad? Yeah. HSV1, he didn't feel bad. The oral, he didn't feel bad at all. He's like, yeah, well, it's part of life. So whatever. The genital guy, the guy that I dated that had genital herpes, yeah, I think he felt bad. He said he didn't know that he had it. To be honest, I was so mad that I didn't even see sympathy. I was so mad. You know, like when you're in a certain state, you can't see the other side. So I believe I was so mad that I couldn't see the sympathy on his end. He definitely apologized. He definitely felt all that. So I'm sure he did feel bad, but I don't really know. I was so angry at the time. Any other symptoms beside cold sores? So the actual blister, the actual lesion, it can also look like a paper cut. For other people, it can be flu-like symptoms. It can be swollen lymph nodes. It can be body aches. It could be just any type of flu-like symptom. It can also be itchy. You can be like, oh, the area is itchy. Or it can be like a nerve pain. For me, it just feels like an electric bolt goes down and it like shows up at that area. So for me, it's kind of that. And that's usually how I know I get it. I no longer really get, some people have nerve pain down their body, like down their legs or in that area. For me, it's not so much flu-like symptoms or anything like that, although it used to be. Now it's more like, or it can be exhaustion. You can just be like, oh, I'm so tired. So I'm tired, or I just wake up, I just feel like a lightning bolt to the area. Is this lifelong? Yes, HSV herpes is lifelong. It is something that once you are diagnosed with, you will have it forever. Any virus is lifelong. At this point, we don't have the ability or the technology or whatever you want to say to remove viruses from our body. So anyone that's been diagnosed with a viral disease, they will have it lifelong. What we've been able to do is make it so it's undetectable or dormant in our body, but the virus still resides there. So for us, there's many people living with herpes who are asymptomatic, which means they have the virus, they have the antibodies, and they just don't get outbreaks. They've managed to put the virus dormant in our body. So that's our goal for everybody, is to have it dormant in our body. But it is lifelong. Guys, thank you for the hearts. I see them. I appreciate them. I'm going to tap with you so that we can tap together, have the hearts together. I love it, guys. So thank you. I love seeing them. Does my husband have herpes? He does not have herpes. He gets tested about every 6 months whenever he goes in for a physical, or he has to do whatever, get his cholesterol checked, whatever. I'm always like, hey, make sure you add on the herpes test. He always gets tested and he always comes back negative. Do I take any medication to control my flare-ups? I personally do not. I did at one point in my life. At one point, I was very into taking the antiviral, and that's just where I was in my life. Now, as I've gotten older, I'm just definitely more cautious about what I put into my body. I do not like to take antibiotics. I don't like to take antivirals. I don't like to do anything that's not natural. So my weapon of choice, what I do is I take Monolaurin, I take Andrographis, and I take Lysine. These are non-negotiables for me, and these are my daily non-negotiables. So these are what I take daily. I'll hold them up so you can see them. They're also all linked for you, and you can check them out in the bio or wherever the link is for you. So lysine is an essential amino acid. It's a protein that specifically helps block the replication of the herpes virus. So this is like no-brainer, absolutely must. I do not mess around with this. If I am out, I freak out, and I order it immediately. So this is a non-negotiable. This company, Natural Cure Labs, which is now Palmera Health, they are the best company out there. I get approached all the time about different lysine. I get approached a lot to talk about different products and things like that. As far as efficacy and efficacy, as far as making sure that the proper ingredients are of the highest value, making sure that they're in the best and cleanest lab, winning awards. The founder of the company has now become a good friend of mine. We've been talking for 4 years. Anyways, I wouldn't go anywhere else for my lysine. So here you go. I've talked to other people that are like, I was on vacation and I was in, like, I had to get something. They just went into a local drugstore and they're like, what I got just didn't suit it. So anyways, that's what you have to get. Then Monolaurin, which is also lauric acid, it helps break down the external layer of a virus. So enveloped viruses are herpes viruses. Enveloped viruses are other viruses like the cold, the flu, all those. What it does is it breaks it down so that our immune system can penetrate it. So I take this daily. Also, when I have outbreaks, I take this, but I also take it to help prevent me from getting other things. I mean, I do have a cold right now, but I do help it. It does help prevent other things like the common cold. And then Andrographis, which is specifically for the HSV virus, and it's extremely potent in fighting it and helping keep it dormant. So these are, again, non-negotiables. They're all linked for you. And that's what I take, a more natural route to to taking, for example, the prescribed antiviral, which is Valtrex, valcyclovir, or acyclovir. Someone wants to be with me and she doesn't have herpes. She knows I have it, but doesn't care. That's awesome. That's great. The person wants to be with you. It's unconditional love. That's great. Was the person who gave it to me asymptomatic? For HSV1, he was not, because he had an active outbreak. For HSV2, he was. Guys, I like seeing the hearts. I'm going to tap with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Whenever I put this up, I see what's on my desk. I have my cap. I'm graduating in 2 weeks, and my cap, I have a tape measure because my little boy likes to measure things. It's like, oh, my desk looks messy from this area, but it's not. Okay. How do you... Let's see. How do I love her without feelings like shit about my herpes? You need to do your inner work, and you need to understand that love is conditional. It's not conditional. It's unconditional, which means that if she loves you, she loves your herpes too. She's not going to not love you because you have herpes or love you because you have herpes. This person's going to love you because he or she wants to be with you. Is if you're feeling like shit because you have herpes, I would invite you to dig deep and really do some inner work, some inner strength, and find out what's really deep down there and what's causing you to feel this way. Have you had conditional love issues in the past? Has it been, with parents? Has it been with past relationships? Where is it always conditional? Was it, well, I'll love you if you get straight A's, or I love you if you do this, or I love you if you do that? That might be a pattern that's popping up in your life that might need to be addressed. Is there a test to test for even if you don't have active blisters? Yes, you can take a blood test. It's an antibody test, so they can test you. If you test positive for the antibody test, then you're positive for the HSV virus, and they'll be able to tell you what type you have, type 1 or type 2. You responded to me asking what I meant by the question, but it keeps getting bypassed. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't see the question though. I mean, I remember your question, but I don't see it. What do you do to keep it dormant? So by taking supplements like Lysine, it's been known to help keep it dormant in your life. There's just keeping a healthy diet, taking care of your body. That's going to absolutely help you keep it dormant. You're saying that your daughter's dad always has bumps on his lips. I don't like him kissing or sharing drinks with your child. He won't get checked. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's frustrating. Oh, thank you for the rose. I appreciate that. That's frustrating. I don't know how old your daughter is, but I would just talk to your daughter about not sharing drinks, and maybe you can start that in your household. But I know that's frustrating. I know I see I don't like my son sharing drinks with other people as well. And I'm like, don't do it. But it's hard to tell a child not to, I understand. I feel you. If you have a bump on your lip, do you need to have an active outbreak to have it swabbed or to be checked? I would say a bump would be considered an active outbreak, but I would say, no, you can have a blood draw and see if you're positive for HSV1 or HSV2. Why do I prefer supplements over the antiviral meds? There could just be some damage to your liver and kidney. And I'm at the point where I just don't want to take any sort of medication. I don't want to have to take medication. For millions of years, we as humans have lived, or not millions, but as humans have lived with this virus. And we've been able to keep it dormant or live with it. And so I think, why can't I? If other people can have be dormant, why can't I? There's proof that other immune systems can keep it dormant, so why can't mine? Do I have children? I do. I have a little boy. He's 3. I did have a vaginal delivery. So even though I have herpes, I was still able to have a vaginal delivery. How do you tell your partner? I recommend waiting till you're ready to be intimate with that person. Or if you're in conversation and you're like, man, this is going to be really weird if I bring it up later. Yeah, do it then. But I would wait till you're ready to be intimate. And then you have the conversation that's very umbrella. It's not like, oh my gosh, I have herpes. Will you please accept me? It's talking about your your health. It's talking about like your intimacy health. It's talking about getting tested. It's talking about what you're going to use from birth control. It's talking about, are we monogamous? Are we non-monogamous? What is our relationship like? And how do we want to move forward? Oh, by the way, I'm negative for these things, but I'm positive for this. Is herpes really that contagious? Is it like HPV? It really is that contagious. And it is, HPV is also a virus, but it's a different virus. So HPV is basically causes genital warts and herpes causes lesions. Can I show you what I take? So these are the supplements I take. I take Andrographis. I take Monolaurin. And then I take Lysine. These are what I take. They're all linked for you. Check them out. You do get a discount if you use them. Okay. Are the blisters filled with fluid? Typically, they are filled with fluid. Okay. Guys, I have got to go. I am going to get my son from school. I love all the hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love seeing them. Thanks for smashing your screen. I'm going to smash the screen. I will see you all again soon. Thank you for the rose as well. And I appreciate you joining me. I hope you have an awesome day. I hope you have an awesome Monday. I hope you have an awesome week. And I will see you all soon. Okay, bye.